Okay, so today we will continue this concepts with what are the classification and types of entrepreneur and the various stages in entrepreneurial process. So as I said, for your second year, we will have this module 3 and module 2 and module 3 complete based on CO2 and CO3. So let us go to the PPT. So we have studied what is entrepreneur. We have seen the various definition of the entrepreneur with respect to the various vocabularies, right? So we have seen why you should become an entrepreneur. So we have seen that thought. You have tried to answer why should you become an entrepreneur. Characteristics of a successful entrepreneurship. So what are the basic characteristics of a entrepreneur? This we have seen. Along with that, I said a commitment is a major characteristics. Commitment means it is a long-term commitment that may involve lot many things. So once again, what are the characteristics of a successful entrepreneurship? So creativity, innovation, dynamism, leadership, team building, achievement, goal orientation. So evolution of the concept of entrepreneurship. So instead of evolution, we'll try to go to the other topics, that is classification and types of entrepreneurship. So let me go to the function of an entrepreneur. So what is the entrepreneur does with respect to the various functions? Planning of the project, planning of the object. So here the various idea of launching the project and program structure of the business would be studied. A management, which is responsible for the management of business. To face the risk, to face the risk means there could be many uncertainties that come across. So we need to face that, and barriers. There may be several barriers. So face uncertainty and bear the risk. We should be in a position to solve various kinds of risk being involved in the business. Distribution of our rewards. So this comes under the motivation concepts. As I said, we need to pay the reward in the shape of anything, rent or a wage or interest, because when you own an employee as an employer, so you need to satisfy the basic needs of the employee. So employer is an entrepreneur. So in that sense, maybe he has to pay the reward. The reward could be in very various way. Maybe in the way of rent, giving him accommodation, a salary. Definitely wage is a salary, and he need to bear the risk of the profits or the loss himself. Though your firm is in loss, you need to pay him the wages, right? You have to pay all these things, rent, wage and interest, irrespective of the losses, because as an employee he would be expecting the standard amenities from an employer. So other functions of an entrepreneur. he is responsible for sale of the product, in the sense, in the case of marketing or advertising the product that is being generated. So it's totally completely involved in the marketing strategies, scale of production. The production is a continuous process, but as an entrepreneur you need to decide the scale of the business, taking the decision whether to continue the production or where to stop the production, what is my limitation of that particular sale. Okay, and how to improve the quality of the product, that is also one of the major factor. So maintaining the quality is a major factor. As an entrepreneur he need to be very much careful, that is how to produce the products. And one of the another function that you have to be very much careful as an entrepreneur is joint stock organization. So this is one of the important concept. So what is the meaning of this joining the fine. So let us continue here. So next, the as I said, one of the major last function of a major one of the major function of an entrepreneur is to join stock organization. In a partnership, the entrepreneurial functions are divided between the partners. Usually in the public limited company, the entrepreneur decisions are left to the government or a body to which the government has delegated its powers. So basically, this is a major functionality of an entrepreneur, that is joint stock organization. So this is about all about the share market. So you know the uh, the success of a business totally is measurable or reliable stock based on the stock market. So joint stock organization, this is the concept. In public limited company, the entrepreneurial decisions are left to the government. So this is the myth of the entrepreneurship. So just go through the what all the myths, that is the reality. Entrepreneurs are born, not made. Definitely entrepreneurs are academic and social misfits. Definitely for an entrepreneur to be an entrepreneur you need a money without which you cannot be. All you need is a luck to be an entrepreneur. So definitely there is a big concept, this is a myth. I would say the myth and the reality. Having no boss is great fun. I can make a lot of money. So this just for the sake of understanding what are the myths of entrepreneurship. So this is important. What are the types of entrepreneurship? What are the types? What are the types of entrepreneurs? So usually the classification of the entrepreneurs is based on the functional characteristics. That is, you do classify the types of entrepreneur based on the functional characteristics. That is innovative entrepreneur. What is innovative entrepreneur? So innovation means he introduces new goods, products, services, or new methods of production, or discovers a new market, or reorganize his enterprise. So this is one classification. What is innovative entrepreneur? Then imitative or adaptive entrepreneur, imitative or copy techniques and technology. Next is a Fabian entrepreneur. Fabian entrepreneur display great caution and in experimenting with any change in their enterprise. Drone entrepreneur, that is die hard conservative attitude, do not easily seize opportunities to make change in their production techniques, irrespective of the conditions or the technology employed. So these are all the basic classifications of entrepreneur. So this is the classification of entrepreneur based on the functional characteristics. Based on the functional characteristics, we have this classification: innovative, imitative, Fabian, and drone. Based on the development angle, classification of entrepreneur on the development angle, we have prime movers, manager, minor innovator, satellite, local trading. So prime movers sets into the motion a powerful sequence of development, expansion and diversification of the business. So the classifications of entrepreneurs on the development angle. Here is a development angle. So maybe based as a manager, does not initiate expansions and is content just staying in the business. So minor innovator contributes to the economic progress by finding better use for existing resources. So what is the meaning of satellite here? In this case of classification, he assumes a supplier role and slowly moves towards the productive enterprise. So local trading limits his enterprise to the local market. So classifications of entrepreneurship based on the types of business. So this was the classification based on the development angle. This was the classification based on the functional characteristics. Right, coming to the classification based on types of business. So we have manufacturing, wholesaling, retailing, and service. So in the case of manufacturing, entrepreneur is involved in production of value-added goods by using various inputs. So second is wholesaling. An entrepreneur with such a business sells products to the middleman or retailer. He is not to the direct customer. Retailing, usually what is the meaning of retailing? An entrepreneur with such a business sells products directly to the consumer or end user. Here there is a direct communication between the consumer and the entrepreneur. And one of the classification based on another types of business is service. An entrepreneur in this business sells service, not the product. So one more classification, this is a third classification based on the type of business. The first classification was based on functional characteristics. Second classification was based on the development angle. Third classification based on type of business. Similarly, we have one more classification of entrepreneurs based on the behavioral scientists, that is solo operations, active partners, inventors, challengers, buyers, lifetimers, industrial entrepreneurs. So solo operators work alone, introduce their own capital. Active partners jointly put their efforts and resources. Inventors' interest lies in research and innovative activities. Similarly, challengers buyers purchase the existing one and by using their experience and expertise try to run the enterprise successfully. So similarly, there are many classifications based according to the growth, according to the stage of development, according to the area, according to the gender and age, according to the scale of operations. Okay, all these classifications you can just remember while writing what are the classifications or the types of entrepreneur. There are many classifications and types of entrepreneur. So there are few other topics such as what are the factors influencing the women entrepreneur, economic independence, the factors that influences the women entrepreneurship, that is economic independence, establishing their own creativity, identity, achievement of the excellence, motivation. So in fact, though it is not into the topic, but sometimes the question have been asked based on the women entrepreneurship, in the sense, what are the functions of women entrepreneur? Exploration of the prospects of starting a new business, pool up the resources, establishing the industrial enterprise, manage the business, development of strategies to assume risk and uncertainty, supervision and leadership. So here are the few of the list of the Indian, first of all, so the here is one of the overall product selection by Nomer Entrepreneurship in India, and here are few of the personalities, entrepreneurs. So one more concept, what is entrepreneurs and intrapreneur? So in fact, this was into the old syllabus, that is what is the difference between intrapreneur and entrepreneur. So what is intra? It is an emerging class found in the large industrial organization who emerge from within the confines of the large industrial organization. Top executives are encouraged to catch the hold of the new ideas and convert them into products through research and development activities. Dependent does not bear risk in business, does not raise funds, operates from inside. So you could see the major difference between entrepreneur and intrapreneur. So all of you can give the attendance in the chat session, those who have not given. So these are all the few things that has been asked in the examination. So previously in the old syllabus, the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurs, and also the difference between entrepreneurs and was the manager. Who is and what is the basic difference between entrepreneur and manager? So in fact, our topic was various stages in the entrepreneur process. So maybe, but examination point of view, sometimes you should be able to know the major difference between these. So those who are not given the attendance in the chat session, they can give.